What's up, everyone, and welcome into episode number 521, where it is my honor and privilege to introduce a few special guests joining this episode, and that is Hillsdale Track Sprint Group. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. Happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad that you guys were able to join. I know around now you guys are pretty busy, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. Who's excited for Thanksgiving? Is anyone doing anything fun for Thanksgiving? Maybe like a favorite food if they want to mention that.
I'm from Philadelphia, and my roommate here, Luan, is from Germany. So he's never had Thanksgiving before. He's coming with me to for his first Thanksgiving back to Philly. So um, he'll have Thanksgiving food, but I'm also gonna take him to get like Philly cheesesteaks and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I'm
Love it.
I'm really excited to have my first cheesesteak, my first real cheesesteak, and my first real turkey. So that's what I'm excited for.
I'm taking my roommate Wilson here. He's from South Africa. I'm taking him back to Traverse City for Thanksgiving. Hopefully, I'm going to introduce him to Sister Shoob's rolls and
Okay.
to my vanilla dessert, and it's going to be amazing.
And I'm just heading back to Mass where it all started.
Yeah, very true. The Mayflower, all that kind of stuff, very, very accurate. It all started there. But obviously, I hope all of you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. I know there's a few, two of you from different countries. So hopefully you enjoy the Thanksgiving food. I love Thanksgiving food. Big turkey, big sweet potato casserole fan. So definitely enjoy that during your time. And I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving as well. But just how's things been going for you guys? I know, like I mentioned, you guys have been busy kind of getting towards the end or the beginning of the indoor season, kind of getting towards closer to the outdoor season in the spring. Just how's things been for you guys?
Things have been moving really well. I mean, we've just finished, we're pretty much wrapping up huge training block. Every fall training is always going to be hard. You just have a lot of time with no meets, just having the ability to keep training. A lot of harder workouts, a lot more weight room. And we've just been getting through it. It's been great. All the numbers in the weight room have been great. Everybody's just been progressing through, moving up. We've all been getting a lot stronger, feeling a lot quicker. We're all really fit this year. And just making sure that we're recovering and getting our sleep in has been really important. But we're getting through it, and we're getting ready for our first winter meet.
Time trials on Friday went well. We have a strong freshman class, and we showed out pretty well on Friday. A lot of the upperclassmen and sophomores did really well as well. So it was really good to see.
I know you talked a little bit about towards the end of kind of like the training block. How many different training blocks are there? And is there really just kind of different like approaches to training blocks? Is like one, I don't want to say more difficult than the other. Is it just like a different approach, or is it more of just kind of like the time of year and what your coaches want you guys to do?
yeah, so we haven't had an official meet yet. So we've been training since basically we got here. So it's been very big training block. And then we have our first official meet when we come back from Thanksgiving. So we've started to taper down a little bit with like the intensity of workouts these last couple weeks, and we'll kind of be on a lower like volume until the end of winter season. Then there's going to be a brief, break where we're going to kind of kick it back up for a second, for kind of
Okay.
a second block to get ready for the spring season, and then we'll taper back down for the spring season.
Okay, no, that makes sense. And obviously, the one kind of sport that I think of taper, I more think of kind of like swimming, kind of doing less yardages, and being obviously kind of a sprint group. Is it more of just like less sprints? Because obviously, like it being a part of a sprint group, you're going to be doing like 100, 200, 400, stuff like that. Like you might not be in like a whole ton of distance overall. Is that just kind of what taper is? Just maybe less amount of distance, less amount of sprints, less amount of just maybe like the grueling kind of practices that you guys can have?
Yeah, that's a big part, just making sure volume isn't too much, that we just aren't pushing our bodies to where they can't go. It's very important to prevent injury and just keeping us safe and making sure that we can actually show up to the meets and compete and not be too fatigued. Especially around championship season, that's when you're in your like probably the lowest part of training, but your meets,
Yeah.
you're scratching, you're ready to just compete and be on point.
Yeah, from what we've seen, it seems like a more emphasis on like technique and power over volume, just to kind of get conditioned for the competition season. Yeah, like Abe said, keep you fresh for the meets. They're all good to go.
And how important is like technique, power? Most people think of obviously power when it comes to sprinting. Like you want to make sure you have power when you're coming off the blocks. You want to make sure you have a good skid off, all that kind of stuff. Is it more power? Is it more technique? It's probably a little bit of a balance of both, but like, is it one more than the other? Is it more of just like they kind of go hand in hand and you really truly need both of them in order to succeed the way you want to succeed?
I mean, it kind of depends. You definitely need technique to run your most efficiently, but it's kind of like having just technique with like, or like a fancy like shell of a car with no motor to actually push it through. Like you still
Okay.
need your power to get you out the blocks and everything. You can't just not have power. It's probably, I don't know, it depends on the person what you say, but I'd say like 80-20% power versus technique. It was maybe a bit generous. It depends on the person.
Yes, it is different from person to person. Yeah, I think technique helps augment the power. You can have great technique, like Abe said, you got no power, you're not going anywhere. But also, if you have amazing power, you can still sometimes get somewhere. But technique will help like augment that and help you like fully realize that.
Okay. And is it a little bit different? Actually, you mentioned about like it's different per person, but like how different is it per event? Because like I did mention, like if you're running a 100, right? Like you want to make sure you have a ton of power. But like if you're running a 400, obviously it's still kind of like a sprint, but like it's a little bit further of a distance, or like a 200 is a little bit of a further of a distance. Is there really a different way of like trying to like organize that when it comes to like different events that you guys run?
So I'm the only 400 runner here, really.
Okay.
But I'd say it's a little bit different because there are points in my race where I'm not, pushing all out. Mostly kind of from the 100 to 200 range, where I'm kind of just floating, just making sure I'm keeping my speed. But I'd say almost like it's a kind of a different kind of power. Just that like once you get and you're fatigued and you can't push anymore, then like the back half of my race needs to be super technical. Make sure that I'm getting my knees and my arms up, because if you're not focused on that, you can really like your form can crumble completely. So making sure that happens and then just pushing with everything you have left. I think it's like there's similar aspects, but we do it in different ways.
Okay. Which makes sense, obviously, because it's a little bit of a different event. But for you guys that run the 100, 200, how do you guys think you would do if you try to run a 400? Do you think you would be able to beat him a little bit, or do you think you would die at the end, or die even in the middle?
Oh, I'd be dying.
Yep. I think it would be really hard just because as short sprinters, we're used to run all out. So we just push all the way through. So we would probably not make it in a good good form at the end. So we would probably die.
Yeah.
Especially since we don't do the same workouts. We don't they have different work. If you're a long sprinter, you got to do more of your endurance work and your capacity. You just have longer reps in general. We don't do that. We have that same adaptation for like lactic capacity.
Okay. Which obviously lactate like that again plays a little bit of a different role, kind of obviously like once you're running more, once you're like towards the end of practice, obviously like that can build up, obviously affect your form, affect your power, affect everything, right? And obviously that's just different way of approaching it. But for the guys that run the 100, who do you think would be the best 400 sprinter besides the one guy that actually sprints 400 in the group?
Do you think it'd be?
Yeah, dude.
I think it would.
Probably.
It might be.
Probably.
He's got some nice form. I think. He could.
Yeah. Probably.
We should test that out. I want to see.
No, dude.
We're not. We are not testing.
Let's not do that.
We're not doing that. Oh, the question I put you in a form before you ran Gates Lane to 300. I'm not going to do it. I'll probably get injured.
See, I'm on the side of testing it because I want to see how good he can be, but it sounds like he's not very much for it, at least. I think it would be kind of fun to at least test it to see who the best of the group is out of everyone that does the 100. I think that should be at an end of practice thing to see who's the better one, and then maybe we can go with the 400 to 100 as well and see who wins that race as well.
Oh, see that one wouldn't even be close. That would be ugly. I would adapt so hard if I ran a 100 against these guys. So
It's just different.
it wouldn't hurt though.
Yeah, you'd be fine at.
I'd be fine after. I'd be like, wow, I can do another one of these. We're done already.
Yeah, he'd probably be confused by the distance. He'd probably continue to keep running, just the way he's used to running a 400 around the around the track.
Where are you guys going?
We
done?
didn't even run a curve. Oh my gosh.
So obviously we've talked a little bit about like the different like ways of like practice stuff like that, but is there really any difference between indoor season and outdoors? Obviously, like elements, like running outside, you might like it more, you might like it less. Is there really any different way of approaching that, or is it basically just the main difference is one's inside, one's outside?
I mean, kind of depends. You're on a. I mean, it doesn't matter when you're running like a 60-meter race because indoors we don't have the 100, 200, 400. We have the 60, 200, 400.
Okay.
So you're going down a distance and it's still on the straight and you're fine. But the 200 and the 400, now you're on a 200-meter track or a 300-meter track. So the curves are a lot tighter. You have to like use the track a lot differently than you would normally outdoors.
Yeah. For the 400, it's a 200-meter track indoors. So you stay in lanes, kind of like, in outdoor, you stay in lanes the whole time for a 400.
Yeah.
For indoor, for the first lap, first 200, you stay in lanes, but on that kind of second straightaway, everyone cuts into lane one, which can make it like easier or more difficult to win depending on how fast your first 200 is. So it kind of pushes the pace the first lap because you don't want to get stuck behind people. So if you're a better starter, then you can have a huge advantage in indoors. And also because it's kind of a more like physically taxing event, the air quality, if you don't have good facilities, the air quality can be an issue. Most of us ran in places where that was an issue, and that sucks, especially I would say after a 400. Because if you can't get proper oxygen, then it's death. They don't have to worry about that as much. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. How brutal is it to go from your own lane to obviously everyone sprinting in one lane? Like you see people in track, you see people in like the Olympic trials, even the Olympics as well, that run into each other, that take each other out, and then guess what? Their dream of winning that race is done. Like is there like a little bit of pushing and shoving kind of going on there? It kind of seems like it, but no one ever seems to quote unquote get caught, really.
There definitely is. For the 400 indoors specifically, everyone cuts in kind of at that 300-meter mark so that they all can get into lane one by the 400 point.
Okay.
And what you'll see is if you're farther back and you try to pass people, it's much tougher. Because the angle is sharper, and also there's usually going to be like less lanes, so you try to get around, and everyone else usually during that time will also spread out. So there's times if you're far behind, you can get like blocked by a straight wall of people, which I've done before. It's not fun. So
Yeah, because then you have to obviously navigate the wall of people to try to get even back in the race, and if you're 400, like you don't really have the time to do that. But for the rest of you guys, how appreciative or how nice is it not to have to deal with anything like that and you can just focus on your own lane?
Oh man, it is so nice. For Massachusetts, we did things a lot differently with track. We ran the 55 and 300 for our indoor seasons in high school.
Okay.
So in the 300, there'd be sometimes you cut into lanes, and I'd also sometimes be in the 400 cutting into lanes, the 4x4. It sucked. Not having to worry about that this whole year is just going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's really nice having your own space, your own lane, because then you can really focus on yourself and run your own race, not being influenced by any others cutting into your lane or pushing you or whatever. So that's really nice.
How do you run a 55? That doesn't make any sense. It should be a 60 100. Like what's a 55? I don't even know what that is.
It should be. They just have one line that's like 5 meters closer and just run you from there. So it makes like no difference. It's just times look faster. Really, they're really not.
I think it's like a holdover from like yardage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's also too what it is.
Okay.
Because it used to be like a 50 meter or like no, a 50 yard. Nope. 60 yard race would be like a 55 meter.
Okay.
So
I was going to make a comment of like how much harder is the 5 extra meters to run, but
it's not at all.
you
Just
can't
trying to
really
be
tell.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, we talked a little bit about like outdoor, indoor stuff like that. We've talked a little bit of power technique as well. But I do want to get into a little bit more of like why do you guys enjoy sprinting? Like, what's kind of like the part that you guys really got into it? Like, how did you even truly get started sprinting? Like, for a lot of people, they might think of like, let's play football, basketball. Like, track is a big event for a lot of people, but like, just how did you guys get started sprinting? Just some of your guys' favorite parts of the sport.
I mean, I got into it because I just was told a lot of times that I was fast and to run it. Fell in love with the sport. I did wrestling in the winter originally, so I started off in the spring. I started off actually in a 400-meter hurdles race, which for anybody who doesn't know is probably the hardest race in the sport. But I then proceeded to run a 200 one time and get out of it for the rest of my life. Just be like it kind of helped going from such a hard event to a lot of easier events. Just
Yeah.
make it like, hey, this can actually be fun. And
Exactly.
also just great coaches through high school for me helped a lot.
It was kind of the same for me. I was a football wrestling guy in 8th grade, and then I didn't have a sport in the spring, so I'd stopped playing baseball. And one of my best friends goes up and is like, you know what, you're pretty fast. You should go try out track. So I did, and I ended up loving it. Ended up being pretty good at sprinting. So I stuck with it, and it just became something I really enjoyed. It was really nice to combine with football and wrestling, and now I'm
Yeah.
doing it on its own.
What I really enjoy about track is that you yourself control the outcome. You're responsible for yourself, so you can never blame a loss or a bad outcome on a teammate or your coach. It's all yourself. You can control it. So if you really want to be successful, you just have to put the work in. So that's what I really like.
I mean, I always did it I always did track instead of baseball, like as a kid growing up. But I was always like a football in the fall, basketball in the winter, track in the spring type kid. Like, um, and then when I got into high school, I just realized I was way better at track than I was at football and basketball.
Okay.
I realized I wasn't gonna make it to the NFL. So that was kind of sad. But I realized I had a talent for track, and I just started doing indoor and outdoor, and I had a good coach who taught me a lot of good things, and so I really fell in love with the sport after that.
With me, I just started off playing soccer, like back when I was very young. But then obviously COVID-19 came, and we
Yeah.
couldn't like do any contact sports. So then I transitioned to track and field. I started to become a sprinter because I enjoyed that the most, I'd say. Because obviously it's also like the most popular event, I'd say, in the whole sport.
Yeah.
So as I did it, I just fell in love with the sport, and I started really excelling in like track and field. So I just decided to like stay with it, and it's
Okay.
gotten me on. So yeah, I'm really happy with my decision.
Good, and that's the cool thing about kind of, I don't want to say the cool thing about COVID-19, but like the thing about like COVID-19 that I've talked a lot about, like athletes that kind of like went through that, is that for a lot of like the athletes, like that's when they kind of like turned it on a little bit more, or like they kind of took advantage of like the difficult stuff that was kind of going on during that time, is they used it to obviously get better, to push them. And obviously in track, like if you're outside, like you're still going to have the ability to do it, like you're still going to have the ability to get better, and that's obviously part of the whole process of wanting to run in college. But like, how did each of you guys find Hillsdale? Because in this group, like we have people from all over the country, all over the world. We have Germany, we have South Africa, we have Massachusetts, we have Michigan, we have Philadelphia. Like everyone's ending up in Hillsdale, Michigan, a small Division II school towards the bottom of the state. Like, just talk a little bit about that and just how you end up finding your way there, because Hillsdale is a great school. It's a great athletic school. I've heard great things about it, but like people might not necessarily know about it unless you're in the state.
I mean, I'm from a very liberal state in Massachusetts. So I was just kind of looking for a school to get out of that place because it's like it's got its own perks, but at the same time, you can just want to find something different outside of that. grown up there all my life. So Hillsdale is kind of the opposite of that. A nice Christian conservative school. Um,
Yeah.
Not really too political, but school's nice and I can just be here and it's a great change of pace for me. It's a great community. We have honor code, which we can pretty much leave whatever we want around the whole school and we can find it like 3 days later in the exact same spot. Won't get taken. It's a great community, great culture, and then I had to look all for my own to find this place. And once I found out, I fell in love with it. Came here, visited, and just found myself here.
That's awesome.
I found Hillsdale through the track coach texted me,
Okay.
so that's how I found out. And I was really impressed by the track team, especially by the freshmen coming in, because we have a great freshman class. I mean, we're all freshmen, so it's a great new generation. And I was also impressed by the academic side of Hillsdale, so that was also something that convinced me to come here.
Yeah, I was also our coach, Coach Still, reached out to me over an app called NCSA, which I downloaded, which
Okay.
is like get to meet with college coaches, kind of like a thing. And my dad recognized the name Hillsdale because because I'm from a conservative family, and he was like, I've seen that on podcasts about how the education is different from anywhere else and how it's it's a good school and all that. Like you should at least look into it. So I like, okay, Dad, whatever. So I scheduled a visit and I was like, this place is awesome. I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Cute little community. Like good, unique education system. That there's nothing like anywhere else you'll go. And the team is the best part because it's just people, it brings people like this together who are now like some of my closest friends.
Exactly.
And then for me, I know a couple guys who have gone here before, some alumni. I know a couple people who are here now. But at the time when I was searching for colleges, I didn't like consider it too much. And then my parents, when we were doing college tours, were like, "Why don't you go visit Hillsdale?" And I was like, "All right." So I came on a visit. I liked it, so I ended up applying. And as I applied, part of the application process is you do an interview. It's not, and you write essays like all the normal applications. But they also like actually get to know you face to face. It's like they actually just have a conversation with you. And I found that like really nice because nowhere else I applied to had done that.
Yeah.
And then I'd also reached out to Coach Thill because that's our sprints coach about potentially running here, and he was like really happy that I wanted to come here. And when I applied, that was a big reason why I applied. I actually didn't meet a lot of the team. I was only able to come for like a quick day visit, and I didn't actually see practice. I only met a couple of the team, so I was very, very happily surprised when I got here, and everyone here was amazing.
Yeah.
So it was really nice. I was excited about the freshman class Coach Stowe told me about, and I just kind of fell in love with it just looking into it, and it was amazing.
That's awesome.
With me, I found out about Hillsdale through the coach. So we spoke through email, and I did more of my own research about like Hillsdale because I didn't know it before I came. I looked at stuff like the graduation rates because I prioritize my academics over anything, and Hillsdale had a very high graduation rate for a D2 school, so that also caught my eye about Hillsdale. Then also like the core curriculum and like how it can make you like a well-rounded person, like even like after college in a job market. So I think this is the best place for me to grow, like not only as like an athlete but also like as a person and being just well-rounded like everything. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And it's awesome that you each had kind of your own individual reasons to go to Hillsdale. But Hillsdale's like the one school, at least in Michigan, that is conservative, like you guys talked a little bit about. I also heard an honor code in an answer as well. Talk a little bit more about kind of like that honor code and like what it truly like means to you guys, but also like just like how cool is it to kind of have that honor code there where like you can, like it was mentioned before, like you can leave something out and you know that it's not going to get stolen. There's not very many places that have that kind of atmosphere, have that kind of culture at a school and at a team.
Yeah. So I actually can pull it off the honor code real quick. So
Can you read that?
right here, it's a Hillsdale College student is honorable in conduct, honest in word and deed, dutiful in study and service, and respectful of the rights of others. Through education, the student rises to self-government. So what it means, it's just not only just making sure we are actually being truthful to our studies, but truthful as people and being good citizens in this country and good citizens around us. So,
Yeah.
like I said, like if you leave something out and or if you see something out and it's not yours, you're just not going to take it. That's not what somebody that has honor would do. So we all hold up to that standard, and you see it all around campus where you just see everybody helping each other out. There's always a lot of volunteering going on around here. It's great to see. The community is also really nice around here. You can just rely on your other students to do the right thing. It makes it a great place to be and just to be able to have friends. You're not going to expect something to go wrong. You can just trust people around.
Exactly.
And like with all that, because you have that kind of mutual trust, it teaches as it says in the article, like self-government. And I really like that because it like gives me hope for the next generation of like citizens and voters in the US. Because it's like if you can't first govern yourself, you can't trust people to be able to make large decisions on an actual government scale. You have to govern yourself before you can govern.
And that's not only for obviously like the whole student body, but I'm sure that's something that you guys kind of encompass on the track team as well. And it seems like it's truly one of the reasons why that you guys enjoy it is because obviously like that community. And is that like community truly what for you guys truly what makes Hillsdale a little bit different? Like what kind of makes the team like unique? Is it kind of that honor code? Is it like how close everyone is? Is it like the connectivity between everyone? Is it just the school in general? Like overall, what do you guys think makes Hillsdale track, especially the sprint group, unique and so closely connected that a couple of you guys wanted to join this podcast? So it definitely is working a little bit, if I have to be honest. So
I think. I'd say what makes this team so special is that we're family. Um, and it was kind of like that, like off the bat of the upperclassmen, like immediately just like had our support. Like we go out and people are, let's say people are going out partying. We'll get a message from an upperclassman being like, be safe. If you guys need anything, then just call me. Like I live here. Like I can come get you if you guys need help. Like that's like an older brother type thing to do.
exactly.
And this was like a month in when we didn't even really know the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like inviting us over to his off-campus house just so we can like play board games and like eat cookies with him. Like stuff like that is just like good team bonding exercises. I like the way our coach put it. One time he was asked like, "Is this our coach was asked like, Coach, are we like your kind of extended family in a way?" And he goes, yeah, take out the extended and you're right. So like even
I
to our
love that.
coach, like we're his family. And he's kind of our father, a little bit father figure.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
And another cool thing we do on that like bonding experience is like every single day when we're warming up from practice, when we're all in a circle warming up, we're just like, hey, what are you grateful for today? And we all go around in a circle saying something we're grateful for. Just being able to express that gratitude. A lot of times you'll see people being grateful for each other and like constantly you're just grateful for your roommate, for another person on your team, just for grabbing a quick meal together. It's all great. It's just an awesome time together. Closest friends are here on the track team. A lot of them here right now. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, and that's not just talk. Like it's obviously something that you guys obviously like live out. It's something that you demonstrate. It's something that you guys are specifically mentioning right now. But in a sport that's just so physically, especially for you guys, your guys' group, that's so physically demanding, how important is having those older classmen there to help out throughout this kind of transition that you guys are going through from high school to college running? And then also just having that connectivityness as well, like when you're having a hard practice. Like I'm sure you guys have probably had practices where you're like, why am I even doing this anymore? Like just how important is kind of that group chemistry that you guys deal with, but also having kind of those senior leaders that truly help you guys through those difficult moments.
In terms of the hard practices and getting through those, I think it's important to have them because obviously because they care about us, we care about them. And it's like they're older brothers. And when you ask yourself the question like why am I still doing this? It's because you want to do it for them. It's their senior season.
Yeah.
They want to excel to the best they can, and part of that, obviously, track is an individual sport, but there's also a team aspect to it. So if you are able to keep going, if you're able to give them an extra push through your effort, that only betters them as an individual and betters yourself, so that maybe the team can have more success and that they will have a good senior season. We really want that for them because these guys have worked their butts off for 4 years,
Maybe 5.
maybe five in some cases. So we just really want to see them succeed, just like they want to see us succeed.
Definitely just seeing the support from them is really important to get through the workouts. Being able to offer them support and just seeing them as training partners together. They have a lot more experience. They know how to run the workouts. They're great with pacing, which is really important for getting through workouts because we're all kind of new to that type of pacing workout. Just making sure we're on time is really hard. So having them there with us helps a ton.
And kind of obviously still learning that kind of stuff is obviously, like you mentioned, it's important to have those guys there to help teach you, to help you learn, like as you kind of go out through that process. But I do want to ask something for everyone here, because obviously like learning pacing, learning running is kind of like at the college level is new to you guys. But one thing that might not be pretty new is everyone or most people have like pre-race like rituals. Like what's everyone's kind of like pre-race ritual that you've done for as long as you remember, and do you still do at Hillsdale?
Oh, for me, one of the things that I always do is before meets, I just put in like some music. Like this isn't necessarily before my race, but like before a whole meet in general, because a lot of times we're not allowed to wear like headphones and stuff while we're warming up.
Yeah.
But I'll keep playing the same music. I like to use the soundtrack from Cars. That's another reason I run too, is because I love that movie, just going fast. So it's a big inspiration. But I play that playlist before every meet, just keep playing. Then I go warm up, make sure I'm all mentally prepared. We have the same warm up we do in practice for meets.
Okay.
So it stays very constant between the meets and practice, just to make sure your body's warm and your body's the same. Mentally is more where it's different. For me, it's definitely prayer before.
I also listen to music before I warm up. I have a race day playlist. That's my ritual. I don't do
Okay.
anything besides that, but I do focus on a good night's sleep the day before. So that's something I really focus on.
In terms of a pre-race ritual for me, I try to do like the same exact warm-up every time, and like usually on the same area of the track. If I can listen to music, I will listen to music. I have a pre-game playlist.
Okay.
And a big thing for me is also prayer, like Abe. And that was another thing. I'm sure that attracted quite a few of us here. I know it attracted me here. I forgot to mention that earlier. This is a big faith community, especially within the team.
Yeah.
Like people are all, like asking, like offering opportunities to pray, offering to pray for people. It's always like there. It's something I really like. But yeah, that's my pre-race rituals. Obviously, then the black rituals, but that's a little different.
With me, I'm like more of a music person because I feel like that helps me like almost lock in mentally. Because I'm a very my attention span's not that good. So
Okay.
when so sometimes I like look at other people while they're warming up, so that kind of like distracts me from myself, and that's not
Yeah.
like the whole point of the sport. It's more on like focusing on yourself. So I feel like music
Okay.
really helps me on like focusing on myself and my race.
Yeah.
Then I also like don't change like anything like before the race because I just like trust like what I did in practice is enough for me to excel like on race day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then for me, kind of similar to most of these people, I have music that I usually prefer to listen to beforehand. I usually like to pray. Usually like like when I'm like stepping onto the track, like
Okay.
trying, and then just like mannerisms in general that I always
Yeah.
seem to like. My mom has picked some of them up. She's like noticed. I don't notice when I do them because I'm like so either like locked in or like nervous in general. I'm one of the
Okay.
two. But like she always points out, she's like, if I'm always wondering where you are, you always have your hands on your hips before you run. So that's how she picks me out from a crowd. Is I
That's
always have my
awesome.
hands before I run, or like right before I run, I'll have my hands on my knees. Um, just like I guess small like mannerisms like that. It's just
Yeah.
like how my body reacts to that kind of pressure. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And everyone said music in their answers. I'm going to put each of you guys on a hot seat right now. Who would you guys give the aux cord, and who would never get the aux if they had a chance for practice?
So he gets the ox for sure.
that's the ox.
Or Alfie. Alfie's bipolar.
Him or one of the upperclassmen guys would get it.
Okay.
Who would never get it?
Just
No.
Oh my gosh, no. It's just she'll play like some random like recently she's been playing like what is it? It's like
Christmas?
Christmas music, like trap
It's too early for
remixes.
Christmas music.
I know, but it's
That's what
like
I said.
it's like gangster rap remixes. So it'll be what's one? What's one that she plays?
with top X, not crackers.
Oh yeah, it's like Top of Cars and Nutcracker fused together, and it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
But she'll play it, and it'll.
That sounds
I-
awful.
Yeah.
I think she mostly does that as a joke rather than actual music taste, but she would play that song as a joke. It's during practice, so.
Either that or one of the upperclassmen girls, because the senior Colson, he usually does aux. And he
Okay.
said when I first got here, the girls had aux, and we would be like in like a intense lifting session, and they'd be playing like slow country music, and he said it was like the worst thing ever. It was impossible to concentrate because it's just like these like nice folksy songs going on as you're like trying to bench like you're trying to like hit a PR and bench, and they just got like some
Yeah, Chris
probably-
Stapleton. I love Chris Stapleton, but not.
And then there was the 100
Yeah.
Ways to Love a Cat thing.
Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh!
gosh,
Don't
yeah,
start
we're
that.
not getting into it.
Oh my gosh.
There's one. We have one song that's banned. On the
Only one?
Well,
It's supposed to be
well,
clean,
we can't play
Yeah,
explicit
clean.
songs.
Clean. I understand
but
clean.
like this
but
is like the song our coach hates.
This is
oh my
because
gosh.
he will make us like do planks or push-ups if he hears the song come on the speaker when
Really?
we're practicing. He hates it so much. It's kind of funny.
Because it's 30 minutes long and it's like off tune and it just goes like 100 ways to love a cat and it just goes like that.
It's 100 ways to love a cat. Look it up if you have 30 minutes to yourself. I'm kidding. Don't.
Don't do it. Don't listen.
But apparently they played it too much in the past and coach banned it. So
So
I think
do
they
you
played it-
guys have to do like planks and stuff like that for the whole song?
Oh no, that would
Isn't-
take a half hour.
Most people, if it comes on, it's only for like a minute nowadays.
yeah,
because
he will cut it off.
Yeah.
He'll hear like the intro to it and he'll be like, turn it off. So
But yeah,
I was just going to say that could be really interesting. Is if it comes on, you have to keep it on, and you guys have to do like planks or sprints or something like that for like 30 minutes, so that you.
don't
Have,
give me.
no,
I
I was
hit
just
that
going to say, hopefully he doesn't listen to this then. But
Yeah.
next thing you know, you hear like the beat drop or the first few seconds go on, and you just see someone sprint across the track field. You turn it off. That would be pretty funny. I'm sure that probably has happened before. That's interesting that you guys have one band song that's a 30-minute song about cats. Like I've never heard of that song before. I probably won't listen to it, to be completely honest with you, but maybe just for the fun of it or just to see what it's like for you guys. But yeah, two last kind of questions. I'll kind of end on larger kind of questions because obviously, like, you guys are getting your first like meet coming up here shortly. Just how excited are you guys for the meet, and just what are your guys' goals for this season?
I'm super excited for this meet. Like in high school, I trained on my own before the season, so I'd have like a large training block before, but I never had like a structured, well-ordered training block where I'm like consistently timing stuff, consistently seeing where I am, and then having an opportunity to actually execute. A lot of the time, it's not necessarily your fitness that's going to change. I mean, it is going to change from like the first to the end, but it's more so being able to fully execute your technique is what's the more important part in the races. And I'm just super excited to actually get the chance to do that. In the 60 meters, I think a lot of us just really want to break 7 that first meet, 7 seconds. The 200s, we've been doing a lot of endurance work, so just going to be excited to see what those times are.
I know this is looking ahead a little bit, but for outdoor, the 4x1, we're looking to break the school record this year. That'd be what, sub 40.6?
Yeah, but I think we can go like sub 40.
Yeah, we're gonna try to go sub 40. and hopefully make it
Okay.
to nationals. That'd be great because it's a really young 4x1 team.
Yeah.
It'd be him, me, Watson, and then Luan might be in there every once in a while. And then we also
Okay.
have a redshirt freshman who will be on the.
I was actually just going to ask, like, if any of you guys were going to be on it, but it sounds like it's going to be a majority of the people in this room, which is obviously great because one, like you mentioned, it's a young relay, but also, like, if you break it now, just imagine what you guys can do in a few years together.
And that's why we're really excited about it. It's gonna be really really fun. That's why I'm hyped for it.
It's also one of the most fun relays, I think, in track in general. Like, it's just all speed, just all go. Like, it's just so entertaining, and it's one of those things that, like, if you mess up one thing, or, like, if the handoff is off by any meter or millisecond, like, it can truly, like, make you win or lose the race as well. Like, it's truly that entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the U.S. was a little bit better at it, too. So, that would be great if they did better in the Olympics on that. But overall, still a fun event.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'm very excited for this upcoming meets. I just want to get to like probably 50 flat like immediately. My PR is 49 4. So
Okay.
if I can like below 50 right off the bat in the indoor, I will be like very happy. And then like strategically wise in the race, we mentioned like the cut in where everyone cuts in. That's usually
Yeah.
like a week at my race is that I tend to put myself in bad positions. So
Okay.
I'm hoping to break that habit and just like get out and put myself in a spot where I can actually like win the race. So
You know what
I'm
I
just
would do for that time? I would do a lot because I get nowhere close to that time, so I'm really impressed. I would probably touch none of you guys in track, by the way. I would be way behind either of you, but sorry for interrupting. Go ahead.
I'm just really excited in general because I didn't really run indoor season in Germany, so that's a new thing for me. My goal is, as Abe mentioned before, to run sub 7 in the 60 meters. I think that's realistic for all of us, and we're just gonna see how far we can go.
That's awesome.
All right.
We're good to
Um,
go. So one last kind of question: what kind of advice would you give to those sprinters that want to run in college? Like just something that you wish you knew before kind of getting into Hillsdale.
I'd say like if you want to go to a school, reach out to the coaches and like talk to them about it. Because sometimes like it's not that they don't want you, so like they just haven't seen you yet.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
like you reach out to them and they see you, there's a high likelihood that you might start at least talking to them, like start the conversation.
Yeah.
Pretty
Exactly.
much. Yeah.
Like another thing that got me here was going to the track camp here they had. I didn't come in with like incredible times, but I've improved so much since I've been here so quickly. Like coach just saw me with like how I was coming out the blocks at that camp and was like, we should try to get this guy. And I'm
Yeah.
here now because of that camp. So it's really about being able to make yourself visible to coaches and then being able to see it. Like if they can watch videos, especially in like lower divisions, they look a lot more for potential than they do for like right off the bat times because
Exactly.
you're more likely to have 4 years with these athletes. You're more likely to just be able to take your time and not necessarily push for one great year to get a national championship or whatever, but build
Yeah.
up over 4 years so that you can maybe get a national champion after that. And so it's really important to just make yourself known to coaches and don't just look out for D1 positions. Look for schools that will be right for you to not just quickly develop, but to stay healthy for 4 years and have 4 years of great competition.
Exactly.
I would say advice, especially if someone's like decided that they want to run in college, is kind of figure out your purpose of like why do I want to run. It's a huge commitment to be on a college team.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if you're making like even if you have scholarship money, like there's a lot of practice time that could be study time for college. So
Exactly.
if you're doing it and you don't have a real reason why, it's just kind of like, oh, I enjoy it. I guess if that's like really like good for you, then I don't know, but you kind of need to find that like deeper purpose of why do I want to do this for 4 more years of my life.
Exactly.
and sacrifice all this time. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, really appreciate you guys' advice. I definitely think a lot of people that are listening to this will take that advice. It's been a lot of fun talking with you guys. Like I said at the very beginning, I hope you guys obviously have a great season this year. I know that you guys have big goals, big aspirations. I hope you're able to achieve those. Also, as well, hope you guys obviously have a happy Thanksgiving, a great Thanksgiving as well. Eat as much food as you want. Enjoy that before kind of the last little couple of weeks left to go. But yeah, good luck with the meet coming up here shortly after Thanksgiving. Good luck throughout this season. And one thing I always say to anyone that ever joins is if you ever want to come back on, the door is always open. No pressure to do so. But really appreciate everyone taking their time today. It's been a ton of fun, and I truly hope you guys are able to break some records, have some great years, and just have a lot of fun as you continue to get better throughout your time at Hillsdale.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Mark.
much. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, having us on.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a wrap to episode number 521. Thank you again for joining, and tune in to the next episode.